I might as well start from the beginning. So like I was saying, 96 was the year I started making wine. Before that, it was all farming. Went to Cal Poly, studied viticulture, and from viticulture, step right into winemaking, right? Because you're growing the grapes and you want to see what the grapes are going to taste like. And we had some Pinot on the property at school, and made some Pinot, put it in the bottle, waited for it to get all ready to go, and once it was ready to drink, we drank it, and I was like, holy crap, this tastes just like wine. It's like I'm doing something right. So started making Pinot, moved into Merlot, started making a little bit of Cab down in southern, I guess not too southern because it's San Luis Obispo. And then from there, started doing more farming. And I basically farmed pretty heavily down in the Santa Barbara area till I got a phone call from Andy Beckstoffer, and he asked me if I wanted to come up and have an interview with him. And he gave me a job. Started working for Andy Beckstoffer. And at that time, I was selling grapes to Gurgich, I was selling grapes to Mondavi, I was selling grapes to Stag's Leap Wine Cellars, Warren Winarski. And those were my three guys that they all started fighting for me in regards to who was going to hire me from Beckstoffer. And they all gave me a job offer. And I went with Stag's. That was my favorite wine at the time. So I worked for Warren Winarski and was his vineyard manager. And Michael Salacci was the winemaker at the time. Became good friends with Michael. And in 2003, Warren Winarski calls me into his office and he goes, I got good news and I got bad news. I go, okay, what's the bad news? He goes, I'm selling. I go, what's the good news if you're selling? He goes, well, here's the good news. And he pulls out his desk and he hands me an envelope, $50,000 in the envelope. And that's how I got started. Bought a little press, bought some stuff to make wine, put it in my garage. And in Napa, you could actually make wine legally if you get it bonded and all that. And started making some Cab. So my first wine was Cab, and in Napa, and just went from there. Every year I'd bring in another barrel and another variety. Always loved my Pinots, so I made Pinot, I made Cab. Decided to make a white wine too, so I made a Sauv Blanc, and went from there. I make now 9 different varieties, and been doing it in Napa from 2003 on, and moved up here to the hill in 2013. I've been up here ever since. I don't make my wine anymore. I now have it custom crushed for me. I still am there almost every day during harvest, and I'm tasting barrels and all that, but I have other people doing all the heavy lifting for me now. I still do tastings up at the old place here, and then I do tastings over at the Caves as well, which is up Soda Canyon Road. So I have I could do a lot. I could do up to 45 people at the Caves, where here I could do anywhere from 8 people to 2 people. It's a little bit more intimate. You get to walk the vineyards, you get to see the sheep. All my stuff, I started going in 2007 is when I switched over to organic. I started working for a winery in Sonoma called Benziger Family Winery. And I got to meet this guy, Alan York, and he was their consultant. And Alan York, he worked in France. He worked all over the place, and he was my main mentor, the guy that really taught me how to make amazing grapes turn into wine. The thing with Benziger was they were organic and biodynamic, and I really got the taste for that type of wine in the sense that it was fresh, it was clean, didn't give you a headache, the alcohols were lower, and I said that's what I want to do from here forward. And all my wines are biodynamic, organic, regeneratively farmed. My fertilizer that I use is 100% sheep poo. So the sheep this time of year, they're in the vineyard and they're eating down the grasses and they're leaving their little pellets of gold, which is my I think that's what really makes the wine special, is that it's 100% organic, straight from sheep to bottle. So it's a pretty magical experience to have and to witness and to be a part of. The heavy lifting literally is just moving barrels around and whatnot. Everything else kind of does itself. It makes itself, and every year the wines come out spectacular because it's hands off. It's really made in the vineyard, and it's a wine that you have to taste it to experience it. You have to be here, walk the vineyard, pet the sheep, and you get to taste the wine. These wines are magical, healthy,